In today's video, we'll be taking a look at 10 expensive LEGO Star Wars Imperial minifigures that you may own. Let's talk about it. So guys, welcome back everyone to another LEGO Star Wars video, and it is a Monday, and you guys know what I upload today, that being another iteration of 10 expensive LEGO Star Wars minifigures that you may own. In today's video, we'll be going over Imperial minifigures. So this list will pretty much include all the Imperials, but Stormtroopers and Sith. The Stormtroopers will have another video for them coming next Monday, and I did Sith about 2 weeks ago, so definitely go check that out. But yeah guys, so we got a few updates on a few minifigures in today's video, and quite a few new ones that I've been saving specifically for this video. So starting off number 10 guys, in no particular order, we have Admiral the promo poly bag from May 4th, and he right now is going for about $60 out of the poly bag and roughly $100 in the poly bag, so he's definitely gone up in value. I remember, of course, he's in Andor. I did not watch the full Andor TV series, but I remember he is in there at least for a couple episodes. I really don't know how big of a role he played, but he definitely went up in value due to that TV show. Again, a lot of people were buying him up already beforehand in predictions, and definitely, when he was actually physically shown in there, the price definitely went up a lot, because I remember even just right beforehand, he was worth about 40 bucks, I believe, brand new in the poly bag, and now, very scarce market, and every bit of $90 to $100 right now, new in the bag. And again, I think it's warranted at the end of the day. I think it's a beautiful minifigure. I definitely think it's a character that we may never see in LEGO ever again. So with all that being said, all I can say is I'm very happy I got quite a few from back in the day when it was a free promo. So next up, we have Agent Kallus with the helmet, and the unhelmeted version goes for about $20 less than the prices I'm going to say here, but the one with the helmet goes for about $35 used and roughly $50 new. And this is a beautiful minifigure. Again, I really think they did most of the Rebels characters really well back then, and this one with the helmet, of course, will be worth more than the one with just the hairpiece, since the hairpiece is not exclusive to Kallus, unlike this helmet. So there's that. I definitely think a really cool minifigure, and especially if we see him in the new Ahsoka series or possibly a new Rebels remake that's been rumored, I definitely think Kallus would go up even more in value, and I like the character personally, and the minifigure definitely suits him really well. So next up, we have a little update on Director Krennic right here. He's basically going for about $50 used right now and $90 new. Of course, he came out in the 2016 Krennic's shuttle, and this guy right here, of course, it's been a while since we've seen him, and he's not really showing up in any other form of media. I really think they did a pretty good job on him, a nice little cape and everything, but he's really holding around that same price. I believe he's up just a little bit, slightly from when I last talked about him about a month ago. But yeah, again, one of those, just a quick little update on them. If you guys have them, definitely take better care of them, especially for being a white minifigure. You don't want to get them yellowed or anything, or any dirt on them. So there's that, guys. Director Krennic, about $90 new. So next up, we have kind of a wild card here, right, guys? We have the new General Veers from the UCS AT-AT. So I'll be the first one to tell you guys, since I actually did this for myself, for my own collection. I'll tell you guys straight up here. The only difference between this General Veers and the one from 2020 is a pair of dual molded legs in dark gray and black. So they go for about $3 or so, the pair of legs, and you guys can transfer your about $18 General Veers into the $40 one, because him right now from the UCS AT-AT, as it sits, right from the set, going for about $30 used and roughly $40 new. So little hack right there for you guys, and not to promote myself or anything, but I guess I will say this, quite frankly, I do have a whole bunch of those dual molded legs on my Bricklink store. You guys can use them for really any Imperials you want, and today in particular, on Cyber Monday, November 28th, I'm running a 25% off sale only for today. So I guess a little shameless plug there. I really don't ever do that in videos. It kind of feels a little weird doing that, but if you guys do want to take your $20 General Veers and make them a $40 General Veers, I do have those legs on my Bricklink store for probably roughly $250 now with that sale. So yeah, a little shout out right there to my store, Indie Brick Den, and that's General Veers right there, and a little hack for you. So next up, we have a little update on Grand Admiral Thrawn right here. He's going right now for about $130 used and roughly $180 new. So I talked about him about 2 months ago to this date. I talked to him back end of September in a Rebels video I did, and basically Thrawn right now is up a little bit. So he was $160 new back then, so he's slowly creeping up a little bit. I feel like anticipation for the new Ahsoka series, and overall just again getting more scarce on the market. Although I will be honest, there's quite a few people on there all of a sudden that have come on there with used condition Thrawns with like multiple of them. There's a couple of guys that have like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them, but a new condition Thrawn will always be a kind of a hot commodity, and he's creeping up on that $200 mark right now. So just so you guys know. So next up, we have another fun one right here. We have from the 2016 Death Star, we have the Grand Moff Tarkin right there. So this guy is, arguably the best Tarkin they've done. They've only actually ever done 3 Tarkin iterations, if that tells you anything. So him right here is going for about $70 used and roughly $90 new, but actually closer to that $100 mark. There's only one guy for $90, and other than that, it's basically right at about $100. And this is another one, guys, where I remember about 2 years ago, I bought a couple of these guys, I'll be straight up, and they were only like $35 back then, and now he's like $100 $100 for a new one. And you know, that entire Death Star, actually, you know, back in the day, if you guys followed the channel for a while, I gave away 2 of those back in the day. And you know, looking back, I gave away a lot of money, since those things now are like $1,100, $1,200 sealed. Like, that's, you know, that set, for being a Death Star that was just kind of a remake of an older version of a set, that one, you know, blew up in price. Luckily, I still have one sealed one behind me, but that entire set's pretty crazy, and Tarkin's basically the most expensive out of there. Next 2 right here are kind of a double combo from one of my favorite sets of the past couple years, from the UCS Imperial Star Destroyer back in 2019. Of course, you guys know that came with only 2 minifigures. Kind of lackluster, a little disappointing. You know, a lot of us would have preferred maybe a few other characters, maybe a Stormtrooper, Emperor Palpatine, something like that. But luckily for us, those minifigures out of that set are at least pretty valuable, since right here, guys, the crew member from that set is going for about $50, either way you look at it, $50 new or used. And the officer from that set, so the one with the dual molded legs, is going for about $75 either way. There was a leak right there from the Mexico factory a couple months ago, or maybe closer to maybe 6 months ago right now, where the crew member was pretty easily accessible, and just without the hat though. But the hat is not exclusive to there. The crew member just has exclusive torso print and arms, and then also the officer only has exclusive you know, torso print also. So of course, another thing with dual molded legs, if you guys need any of those, I do have those. I don't know why I'm plugging that so much, but yeah, so right there, guys, luckily for what it's worth, you know, you have about $150, almost even more so, $125, I guess, value of just those 2 minifigures, which you know, is always good. You know, it's always good to have at least some value in your high-end, you know, minifigures right there. So there's those 2 right there. Let's move on to the last 2. So moving on to the second to last one right here, kind of straying away from the human admirals and generals right here, we actually have the MOC Hunter droid from the Freemaker Adventure series. So I kind of did a little bit of research. You know, this guy is an Imperial. You know, kind of weird to put him up here with, say, Grand Admiral Thrawn and everything. But quite frankly, you know, the value of this guy for being an Imperial is pretty hefty right here. He's going for about $50 used and roughly $70 new. I personally don't really know who's paying that price. I mean, I know I never will. You know, kind of just begs the question of just, you know, when you start collecting one of every single Lego Star Wars minifigure, you know, you will have to eventually kind of justify these prices. That really is, at the end of the day, why some of these minifigures are worth the price they are, because there are people out there that are either kind of forced to pay that price or really do that, you know, need that minifigure. And Star Wars has such a broad audience where, you know, as much as, you know, some people say, hey, look, you know, paying anything over $20 for a minifigure is, you know, crazy. You also have to keep in mind, you know, there's also thousands of people out there that, you know, say their price point, you know, is $200. You know, anything over $200 is crazy. So it's all kind of subjective at the end of the day. And, you know, that's why some of these kind of more obscure and kind of forgotten about minifigures can raise up in value, mainly just for the fact of demand of people that can't afford them. So there's that one, guys. Moving on to the first one, though, right here, which is probably the craziest one on this list. This one surprised me to no end. This is actually Starkiller from the 2008 Rogue Shadow set. So this one right here actually should have probably been in my Sith video I did 2 weeks ago, but I had quite a few comments on there, actually a couple DMs also. I literally had probably 10 people message me like, hey, look, like, shouldn't Starkiller be on this list? And I kind of thought to myself, like, of course I knew he existed, and that kind of thing. I should start checking almost every price of these minifigures, but only, I'm not gonna lie, what, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I mean, Starkiller was, I could have swore, like a $20 minifigure, if that. Like, I remember the days where Starkiller was like $8 or $9. So, you know, I would have never guessed in a million years that current market price, and it's very scarce right now, $70 used and $120 new. So that is insane. You know, again, I'm happy I have one in my collection, and you know, officially it's pretty crazy. The Starkiller is basically one of the most expensive Sith out there, you know, in the top 5, and the most expensive one on this list, you know, with all these other Imperials that are, you know, pretty crazy. Again, you know, more expensive than, I guess not more expensive than Thrawn, but pretty close there. But yeah, nonetheless, guys, if you have a Starkiller, or you guys ever see one on Facebook Marketplace or eBay for, you know, 20, 30 bucks, like, grab that thing real quick, you know, since I never would have ever guessed right now current market price, you know, 70 bucks to 100 bucks, you know. So without further ado, guys, that's the entire list. Let's close off the video. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I love making these videos, and again, this kind of teaches me stuff too. As much as I'm teaching you guys, you know, these prices, just like with this Starkiller here, you know, I would have never known until 30 minutes ago when I made this list that, like, damn, he's actually worth this much now. And it's almost to the point where I should probably take him out of my little open display and maybe put him into a little glass display and take his feet off the studs just so the feet don't crack. Although I'm pretty sure the feet are just, you know, normal black legs, right? So I guess that doesn't matter. But nonetheless, guys, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for the 10 expensive Stormtrooper video coming out next week. There's definitely some crazy ones in there. There's actually a variant of a Stormtrooper that I would have never guessed was that price. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. And as always, you know, Cyber Monday, real quick, a little shameless plug, 25% off on my Bricklink store today. Without further ado, guys, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for you guys later. Bye, guys, and stay safe.